I bet that's Cynthia right there. It sure enough is.
Okay.
So I'm admitting Cynthia and I'm starting YouTube. It is. She's in.
Hi, Cynthia.
Okay. We are live on YouTube.
Great to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Okay, we ready to go, team?
Sure.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow board members, my friends, we'll go ahead and convene this meeting of the Texas Board of Law Examiners, which is being conducted on an emergency basis in accordance with Texas Government Code, Section 551045C, for the purpose of receiving an update on the February 2021 Texas Bar Exam and to deliberate the status of the exam in response to the extreme weather, electrical outages, and water outages impacting Texas. This is created in a reasonably unforeseen situation that requires immediate attention and action. And therefore, that's what authorizes us to meet on an emergency basis on short notice. Notice has been provided timely and has been posted with the Texas Secretary of State's office as required under the Texas Open Meetings Act. During this emergency board meeting, the board will consider and may decide whether the bar examination in February 2021 shall be conducted as planned and include the question of whether an alternate or makeup exam will be administered. My name is Agustin Rivera. I'm the chair of the board. I'll call the meeting to order. Every single board member is here, and thank you so much, colleagues, for being here. I know that right now, under these circumstances that we're all under, it's a challenge for us to be able to get together, but to me, it's a testament to the absolute duty that you have and commitment to this process. And I'm not surprised to see you all here, so welcome. And also to Ms. Wong, our executive director, and other staff members that are on the line, including Ms. Allison Drish, Kai Struntz, and Sierra Parks, our general counsel. Thank you all for being here. And as always, Lori Gonzalez, our executive assistant, who is helping make this happen. Meeting's been called to order. We have a quorum, so there's no need to consider any requests for excused absences. Board members, I don't know about you, but I am done with interesting times, and I'm ready for boring again. But we don't get to call the pitches that we get thrown at us, and so, you know, batter up. Here we go. I'll start it off initially by saying that. Well, we have communications from the public listed on our agenda. Unless there's any objection from the board, if there's no objection from the board, what I would like to do is defer public comments to allow us to present, to allow Ms. Wong to present her report to us. There's also an executive session that we'll have to go into to discuss some of the non-public confidential matters that may be in play here. So we'll go into that. And at some point, if there's action to be taken, we certainly will allow public comments before we take any action in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. But pretty much to no one's surprise, I'm sure, you know, Ms. Wong and the staff were on top of this on Tuesday, looking at this and looking at the potential impact, even though not much was known where things were headed. And but we were already looking forward to next week and have been pretty much in constant evaluation and assessment mode since then. Yesterday evening, an email went out through the Atlas accounts of every one of our some 1,300 examinees, explaining to them that, number one, the bar exam that we have committed and obligated ourselves to provide next week is happening. And then there's some other details that I'm not going to steal Ms. Wong's thunder. I'm going to let her present that as part of the report. So at this point, we'll go ahead and defer public communications and ask Ms. Wong to brief you all on what's going on and what their recommendations are for us to consider. Ms. Wong?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Rivera. So after many discussions with the chair of the board and with our Supreme Court liaison, with NCBE and also with ExamSoft, we did come up with a plan. It's not postponing the bar exam was not an option. We are now giving the uniform bar exam, and in order for it to be a uniform bar exam, it has to follow the uniform bar exam agreement, which means it has to be given at a certain time under certain conditions. So simply just postponing the exam for a week was not an option. But offering a makeup exam is an option. We have about 1,300 applicants for this exam, and so far, about half of them, actually over half of them, about 720 of them have already downloaded all the exam materials onto their laptops. So at least half of our examinees are ready to go. They've been studying, they've been preparing to earn their UBE score, and they're ready to go. So I felt like we needed to go forward with the exam for those people who were going to be able to go forward with it. However, also we know that a lot of people are really struggling right now. No water, no power, no access to warmth and study materials. So a lot of people are really struggling right now. So we did want to see what we could do to reach out to them and to help them through this. And so what we came up with was offering a makeup exam. There's no way that this makeup exam can be a UBE exam. It's just outside the UBE agreement. So while Texas can give an exam that will allow for a path to licensure for Texas examinees, there's no way that we can require other jurisdictions to accept a makeup exam score as if it were a UBE score. So that just wasn't an option for the makeup exam, something that's just beyond our control. We also offered hotel vouchers to folks who may not have power, but still want to try to take the exam next week and may be able to find a hotel. So we have offered hotel vouchers to those folks. And then we've also offered if people just want to defer till July, that's also an option. And we're just rolling their applications over to July. They don't have to fill out a new application. They don't have to pay anything. They just have to let us know, and we'll just roll them over to July. So we're trying to make that as seamless as possible for those folks. The makeup exam is very much a work in progress. As you can imagine, a lot of people are wanting way more details than we're going to be able to offer today. So that is really where we are at. That's where we're at. The makeup exam is something that the board would need to vote on. As executive director, I don't have authority to give a makeup exam without the board's approval.
Thank you, Nadia. So Ms. Wong, in her effort to be efficient, which she has been, I don't want it to be understated. I do want to point out that she and her staff have been working on this, guys, nonstop since Tuesday. And again, as Ms. Wong pointed out, I mean, we're trying to strike a balance between honoring our obligation and commitment to those examinees who are ready to take the bar exam, who've been preparing for it for the last 7, 8, 9 weeks and are good to go, and we'll be able to take it next week as planned. With the possibility, the very real possibility, that there will be those who, because of the circumstances of this week, because of this, icy storm event, will just not be able to take it next week. So we want to encourage everybody that can take it, that's been preparing for it and is ready to go, to take it. That's the primary objective. But we want to acknowledge the circumstances and realize that there may be folks who just can't. And so that's where this makeup exam has come up. And I think I mentioned to you all earlier, you know, I mean it when I say I've been thinking about each and every one of you and your families, and that includes our PLA staff. But I want our 1,300 examinees know that we've had them in our thoughts a lot this week. And so this is the plan that's been outlined. At this point, before we engage in discussion, board members, because there are some parts to this, like I said earlier, that would qualify, you know, under the non-public items. I'm going to go ahead and announce, unless there's an objection from anyone, that we go into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.088 and Rule 7 of the rules governing admission to the Bar of Texas to discuss confidential matters related to possible makeup exam for that February 2021 Texas Bar, for certain February 2021 Texas Bar exam applicants. The time is 4:13. And at this time, the board will go into executive session. To members of the public, we'll be back.
If you'll give me one moment, Chair Rivera, I'll create the breakout room. Ms. Wong, I'm also going to make you a co-host so that you have the ability to pull y'all back out of the meeting into the main meeting room when you're finished with executive session.
So Mr. Rivera, will we hear from the public when we come back before
Yes.
we
Yes,
do the deliberation and vote in public? Okay.
correct. Yes, sir.
Ms. Wong, are there any other staff members you would like to go into executive session to represent staff views?
Yes, could we have the Assistant Director of Exam, Kai, in there, along with our General Counsel, Sierra?
Excellent. I'm moving y'all over now.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir. Sorry, it was taking me a moment to unmute.
No worries. I believe we've all made it back in.
That is correct, sir. And we are still filming on YouTube. So
Good.
the meeting is ready whenever you are.
Okay, so the time, ladies and gentlemen, is 4:55. That ends the executive session. Before I entertain any motions, if any, I want to go back to our public comments part. And Ms. Gonzalez, who do we have in the waiting room?
We have Mike Berry, and we have a person who's identified themselves as the Bloodworth Law Firm PLLC.
Okay, why don't we let them both in then?
I'm admitting both now.
Welcome, Dean Barry.
Good day. How's everybody doing?
We are okay here, fortunately, with power, and they're coming at you from all around the state. So,
Very good. I just wanted to take a few moments. Thank you specifically to Director Wong, to you, Chairman Rivera, to Justice Busby and the board. Alas, we had hoped that Director Hung's first bar exam as director would be uneventful. So much for that idea. I try to be very fair. If there's something wrong, I'll be critical. But if something is done well, I will praise that as well. And I will be candid. This effort deserves praise. In my conversations with Justice Busby and with you, Chairman Rivera, over the last couple of days, I have been very impressed at the resiliency and the leadership shown, particularly by Director Wong. This week's weather, the power outages, the privations, I don't have to tell any of you, they have been severe. Here in Houston, at many times, more than 60% of the city was without power, many for days on end. That is including our faculty, our staff, and of course, our students and bar takers. We have canceled classes for the full week, as have so many schools. It is effectively a lost week. And it's a lost week for the bar applicants too. And for many of them with broken pipes and water damage and all of the other continuing challenges, that week isn't over. So you could have done nothing. Instead, you acted. There are no perfect solutions in these situations. As a leader of a law school, I can tell you, no matter what you do, some will be upset, some will criticize, no matter approach you take. That is one of the joys of leadership. But you're making the right call. You're permitting those who are prepared to take the exam the opportunity to do so. A delay from next week's exam would work to their significant disadvantage, partially because many of them have been studying for 8, 10, 12 weeks to peak next Tuesday or Wednesday. And this is the only way for them to get a portable score under the rules set up by the NCBE. So allowing the test to go forward is an accommodation for them and is a good idea. You're providing assistance for those who need assistance, those in hotel opportunities. That's not necessary. I've not seen that happen in other states, but it's very appreciated. And you're providing those who have been completely derailed an opportunity, fee-free, to defer to July. Again, a very fair response. But perhaps most impressive is the fact that you have worked with the NCBE to offer a makeup exam for those who are close to being prepared, but who were derailed by this last week's events. And many may not recognize how big a deal it is to be able to offer this makeup exam. Some may complain that the score isn't portable, but those in the know recognize that's not something you control. That's an NCBE function. So I just wanted to say good on you for undertaking this effort. The only request that I would make is, and I recognize that this is a challenge because as Director Wong said, this is a work in progress, but as soon as possible, communicate all of the details to the applicants with as much clarity as you can. The students who are taking the makeup exam will be concerned about what the details are until they are final, and that limits their ability to truly prepare for the exam. I collated on behalf of the deans and those in bar preparation teams a set of questions this morning that people are asking and then sent them to Director Wong. She, within minutes, had responded to those for which she had answers. And I'm confident that the others are going to be answered in short order. The sooner those details are released, the better for all. You've heard me say in the past that applicants need certainty and they need consistency. In this case, adding a makeup exam is inconsistent, and that is a very, very reasonable and good thing to be in this circumstance. And certainty on the makeup test is the next step. Final thought is high praise to Director Huang. She is a rock star. Well done for recognizing the significant challenges, the pernicious and severe effects that this storm has taken on bar applicants. You stepped into the arena to act, and that is truly impressive. So thank you for the efforts on behalf of the bar takers. We stand ready to work with you to make sure that this test is continues to be a fair mechanism by which all people will be able to demonstrate their capabilities and become licensed attorneys. Thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Dean Barry, thank you. Thank you for always being here and for always being willing to provide input and support. We really appreciate you, and tell your students to hang in there. We are thinking of them. We hope this is evidence of that. Sir, I don't have your name. You're under the Bloodworth Law Firm. Could you identify yourself, and would you like to make a public comment?
Yes, thank you for taking my comments. I am William Bloodworth, the managing member of the Bloodworth Law Firm in Conroe, Texas. And not knowing what the board has decided to do, I've been endeavoring to follow along with the conversation about whether or not to delay the February bar. And although I've taken the bar many years ago and passed it, I have an interest because I have two paralegals working in my office who have graduated law school and are currently studying for the February bar exam. I am requesting that the board consider continuing, as I think the previous speaker alluded to. I'm not sure I'm in all the know, but my request is simple: to allow the takers that are prepared and able to take the exam to take it, and those that unfortunately are not able to take it for whatever reasons. I think what's been discussed, what I've seen on the internet and other places about rescheduling an exam, a makeup exam, and then deferring, allowing those to take the exam at a later time in the year, I'm all for that. But as to me, I run a small law firm. I'm a sole practitioner. But these two lawyers, I have anticipated their passing the bar, coming on to help me. And I have given them paid time off for months. And I cannot, as a small businessman, afford to do that twice. So I've done everything I can to support them in their studying. And they are as ready as they ever will be. Fortunately for them, the lights were out on one, but they were able to continue to study by coal oil lamp. The other had power and was not otherwise impacted other than just cold, but they've been able to continue their studies and are prepared to take the exam. And I would hate to see that opportunity taken from them, because it not only delays their right to practice law, but it also delays my ability to bring them on board, generate billable hours as attorneys, and help me with the workload that I am. The only description I can have is I'm managing chaos here. And so I would need their help. I've depended on getting their help based upon the calendar of taking the exam in February, learning of its results, and optimistically believing they will both pass. They don't know I'm addressing the board. I don't want this to prejudice them in any way. I'm very selfishly asking the board to allow the exam to continue so that they can take it, so that I can get help. It's all selfishly motivated, and I confess such. So that's all I wanted to make clear to the board, was that there's another Perhaps there are other employers, other law firms in the same boat, but I'm either going to have to, if they're not able to take the test, then they're not going to get another paid time off. And I would hate to see them deprived of that opportunity.
Well, Mr. Bloodworth, I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't know if you heard the presentation of the plan as our executive director outlined it, but the very first thing is we're going forward with the bar exam next week. You
Oh,
tell your
thank you.
legal assistants.
I was in the
Study, be ready.
and had not heard that.
No, that's number one. We've obligated ourselves to provide this bar exam to 1,300 folks who are ready to take it. So you tell I should have told you that up front, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to say your piece. Thank you for being here and for your interest.
Well, thank you.
And taking the time to be here. Ms. Gonzalez, is that all for public comments?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dean Barry and Mr. Bloodworth, thank you again for being here. We're going to rotate you out of the general meeting room. Okay.
If you would like to continue viewing the meeting, please feel free to log into the YouTube link. If you need that, feel free to email me and I'll send it to you.
I have it, and thank you very much. And thank
Thank
you
you.
again for the time.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Thank you, Dean. Okay, board members, we've heard from our executive director. We have heard from members of the public. I think at this time it'd be appropriate to entertain a motion on the proposal set forth by Ms. Wong.
I move that we authorize Executive Director Wong to prepare for the administration of a hardship makeup exam for the February 2021 bar exam based on the statewide disaster declaration for all 254 Texas counties as declared by Governor Greg Abbott on February 12th, 2021. And as signed off and approved by the Biden administration as a federal emergency declaration for Texas. To be clear, this motion authorizes Director Wong to work out the details as to the timing and content of the makeup exam in consultation with the NCBE.
And I'm sorry, a clarification, Mr. Massey. And in addition, the other proposed terms of the plan going forward with the exam next week, the $250 hotel stipend, the ability to defer until July with no additional fees.
Right. All of that has been authorized and approved as part of my motion.
I second that motion.
Okay, motion's been made by Mr. Massey and seconded by Mr. Soltero. Board members, any further discussion, questions, or clarification on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye or raising your hand in the screen. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Board members, thank you all again. That concludes the business for today. You all are going to continue to be in my thoughts. I hate to see you go because it's been great to see you, albeit under these circumstances. It's still always nice to see you. You all stay safe out there. And for the 1,300 examinees, some of whom may be watching us on YouTube, you will continue to be in our thoughts. And for everybody taking the bar exam next week, hopefully it's all of you. Good luck. Ms. Wong, anything further?
Alfred, it's great to see your home blinds behind you.
Great to be home. That's right. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, all right, you all take care. All right. Thank you again.
Bye, everybody.
Meeting's adjourned. Al,
Thank
go
you.
take care of your
Bye.
business. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.